If you're waiting for a green light that says, yes, now you are ready to convert to Judaism, this video is for you. Most people think readiness is about knowledge, but rabbis are listening for something else. If readiness were about knowledge, we'd convert people much sooner. You could cram for a weekend and pass the test. Because, in case you didn't know, I have a video that it takes at least a year to convert to Judaism. But on the other hand, if it were about confidence, we might never convert anyone at all. Readiness doesn't feel the way people expect it to feel. And that misunderstanding keeps a lot of people stuck and feeling bad about themselves when they really shouldn't. They are making progress even if they don't feel like they are. So if you're waiting to feel completely certain, fully knowledgeable, and perfectly consistent before your conversion, that moment probably isn't coming. But that doesn't mean you're not ready. Stay to the end, because I want to talk about one side people think they understand, but almost always misread in themselves. And I'll show you why the thing that you think of as a weakness is often the strongest sign of readiness. Hi, I'm Kochava. I'm a Jewish convert, and I've been helping people convert to Judaism since 2010 through my blog, buildingajewishlife.com. If you've ever caught yourself wondering if you're Jewish enough to take the next step, I made a free guide called the Jewish Enough Self-Talk Toolkit. The link is down below in the description. Now, let's talk about what readiness is not. It's not knowing everything. Born Jews who've been religious their whole lives have plenty of things they still don't know, and they ask lots of questions still. The journey to knowledge will never end. And that's a good thing. It doesn't mean you have zero doubt. You don't have to have your whole life figured out. If you're like most people, you will never feel fully certain that this is the right path for you. You will always have a little bit of you that worries and wonders whether you're making the wrong decision. That's just being human. We do the best we can with the information we have at the time. And I can assure you, if you backed out, you would probably have that little bit of doubt, wondering what would have happened if you had gone through with it. So either way, you're going to have some doubt around whatever decision you make. So make the right decision for you. You're also not going to be fully consistent 100% of the time on all of the practices that you want to be. Most people are converted while they are still getting good at the mitzvot they're taking on. You don't have to reach perfection first. Mistakes happen. We have a process to fix every mistake you can make. The key is being humble enough to seek it out. I think we're tempted to feel like readiness is a moment. Like 1 minute you're not ready, and then the next minute you are. But that's not how it works. And in fact, most people never really feel ready at all. Or alternatively, people feel ready for forever while they're waiting. There is no happy medium for anyone involved, unfortunately. But I find that most people are in the camp of not feeling ready. Like they're never going to measure up. And that can be a form of imposter syndrome, where you feel like you're a fake or a fraud and people are going to find you out, and that everyone thinks you're so much better than you really are. It's super common. But it's a good thing, because I can assure you, I've never met anyone suffering from imposter syndrome who was not a nice person who had good intentions and was trying to do the right thing. People who don't care don't get imposter syndrome. And part of that imposter syndrome can be that you're moving the goalposts. You get this idea in your head of what ready or good would look like, and then you reach it, and then you move the goalposts saying, oh no, I was wrong. Really, I will be ready or good at this point. And you just keep moving the goalposts again and again and again. You will never reach the end. There is nothing wrong with having goals and aiming higher, but you should celebrate the goals you reach instead of feeling like, oh, I was wrong, this isn't what I thought it would be. And it shouldn't be an occasion to shame or guilt yourself about what you're not doing. Goals should motivate you, not shame you. And sometimes it's just the feeling that your anxiety proves that you must not be ready, that the doubt and anxiety is proof that maybe you're making the wrong decision. So here's the things the rabbis are really going to be looking for. 1, your trajectory. We're looking for clear movement over time. What direction are you going in? Do you have a direction? Do you have goals? Are you meeting those goals and then setting new goals? Do you know your next step? More broadly, you're building a Jewish present, but you're also building a Jewish future. 2, you've integrated Judaism into your daily life and relationships. Not perfectly, probably not fully, but concretely. Do you make Jewish choices even when no one is watching? Are you beginning to think like a Jew? Are you thinking in terms of we? Are you beginning somehow to see a place for yourself in the Jewish story? Again, you may never feel like you're fully in the story. That's possible and normal, but you're thinking Jewish and doing Jewish each day. 3, you're integrated into the community. Again, probably not perfectly. Doesn't mean you have best friends in the congregation. Also doesn't mean you cut off all of your friends who weren't Jewish, because that's not a requirement. And anyone who tells you it is wrong. Judaism is lived with others. It is a tribe, a people, a civilization. Almost all of us start our conversions isolated and outside of a Jewish community. And most of us have to move at some point. It sucks, but choices sometimes come with sacrifices. Is the community factoring into your decision making? Are you participating in the community? Are you supporting other people in the community? Are the people in the community supporting you when you need it? And believe me, I understand how hard that can be. I didn't know this at the time that I was converting, but I'm autistic and ADHD. I struggle a lot in social situations, and I didn't understand why, and I just assumed something was wrong with me, which I guess by some people's measure, there is. Did I mesh fully into the community? No, but I had my people, and I was clearly a person who was enthusiastic and ready to help. You would be amazed how many people who are converting are neurodivergent. So you are not suffering this alone if that's you. And I can't prove it, but there are theories out there that neurodivergence is more common in the Jewish community. That's been my experience, but I don't know if we can put numbers on it. But a topic for another video is how a lot of Judaism is actually extremely autistic friendly. So more broadly, we want you thinking about people, places, and responsibility and history. Again, your spot in the story of the Jewish people, in the Jewish community as a whole, and the world at large. 4, you're honest about your limits. Don't pretend. Don't exaggerate your observance. You can say, this is where I am right now. This is where I plan to be. Here's what I'm doing to get there, and here's support that I need to help me get there. Judaism is a religion of questions, which means we are a religion of problems. People have problems, and we ask questions about them to solve them. Like I said before, you will make mistakes. The question is whether you're humble enough to say, I don't know, and get help from someone. Whether that's your rabbi or a friend, or even, God forbid, a stranger on the internet. I can guarantee you that one of the questions in your Beit Din will probably be one that they know you don't know. And they will see whether you know to say, I don't know, I would ask my rabbi, or I would consult this book. No one can know everything in Judaism. So what do you do when you don't know? Relatedly, you accept guidance even if you don't like the guidance they give you. Being able to take that humbly, even if you disagree, and how you handle that disagreement is a key part of seeing whether you're ready to live a fully Jewish life. 5, resilience. You come back. The word tshuva, repentance, actually means to return. So you come back after doubts. You don't quit when someone corrects you. You don't take your ball and go home when you disagree with the rabbi. You don't disappear at the first frustration or when it's uncomfortable, because it will be frustrating and uncomfortable. Throughout your Jewish life, those moments will happen. Do you keep choosing this path over time? People think that that means some sort of calm certainty, but it can include doubt, discomfort, crying, maybe even pauses where you step away for a little while to see if this is the right thing for you. And I'll link above if you want to hear about how I handled pauses in my conversion. The question is, do you show up anyway, for you and for the community? Judaism should be shaping your decisions, your rhythms, and how you imagine your future. If you recognized yourself in this and thought, maybe I'm not really ready, that voice has a name. It's called imposter syndrome. I have a full video breaking down how it shows up in conversion and how to respond to it. Because, spoiler alert, it never fully goes away. You just get better at talking back to it. And if you want the free toolkit to go along with that, I've got the Jewish Enough Self-Talk Toolkit, which is a short, practical guide to help you interrupt imposter syndrome. Stop moving the goalposts and talk back to that voice that says you're not allowed to take that next step. You'll find the link below. So if you're waiting for a moment when all the doubt disappears and everything feels easy, you're waiting for something that was never part of the process to begin with. Feeling the weight of this choice doesn't mean you're unready. Usually, it means you're taking it seriously. You don't need to rush. You don't need to prove yourself. And you don't need to have it all figured out before taking the next step. Take the step you need right now. That's how Jewish lives are built from scratch.